Hello and welcome to the Out Loud podcast. My name's John.
And I'm Brian.
And this is the podcast where we believe laughter is the best medicine. Unless you're worried about those fine lines and wrinkles, well, maybe you should stop laughing and consider Botox.
As I say, nothing's that funny.
All right, let's roll that intro music.
All right, so it's been a week.
It's been a week. My voice has improved. La 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 la.
And you've kind of given it to me now. I woke up this morning, yesterday, not feeling great. And you guys know when you first get that cold,
you know,
it seems like everything just slows down, and especially when you wake up in the morning. And then as the juices start flowing, you start to feel a little better.
Wow.
You know, but I'm still a little...
Well, honestly, I actually liked myself with the raspy voice. Maybe I should get my vocal cords clipped some way or something.
Gosh, that's horrible. No.
But you guys, we have a really fun episode today. This is like our 25th or so podcast episode. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, we're like quarter of the way
We're
to 100.
podcasters.
We pretty much are. We want to bring on some guests coming up, but we have a fun one today. We're going to do our tops and bottoms, and we're going to dive into making friends, making like other gay LGBTQ plus friends. We got this is inspired by an email from one of our subscribers, so we're going to dive into that later. But first, tops and bottoms. I'll dish it over to my main man, Brian here. What are you starting with?
Well, you know me. I'm the entertainment guy.
You're entertaining.
Well, at times I could be. So my one this week, my top is Fargo. We just kind of binged it, and I had fallen off the Fargo train. I watched the very first one, and I don't know, I think I started to watch the second one, but this last one was, oh my gosh, the thing I just keep going over in my mind. I'm like, this is a true story. This is a true story of how stupid or horrible people can be. Yeah. And you think, oh, well, it happened 50, 60 years ago. No, it happened in 2019. But the cast is great. And the characters that they're playing are so out of their role and from what I've seen them as real people that it makes it even more amazing. John Hamm, who I love, infamous from Mad Men.
He plays this like crazy wife beater in Fargo. And
like sheriff who thinks the law doesn't apply to him.
Yeah.
The Juno Temple from Ted Lasso.
Love her.
She puts on the Minnesota accent.
Her acting range is amazing. That Minnesota accent is just you wouldn't know.
No, that's pretty good. Actually, I can't do accents. David Foley was in it from Kids in the Hall. He played, and Jennifer Jason Lee, who plays the mother-in-law. And it was just a great story. And the thing was, I'm sure it's all embellished or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth the 10 episodes to watch it. And
Hulu?
Had fun. Yep, Hulu. So that's my top. It's, I said, pretty easy.
Okay, I actually have two tops.
Two tops?
Week. Yes.
You wish.
I do. First one is I actually just recently got a job offer for a Botox injecting position.
I am going to look younger by the minute.
I've been looking for a little side gig that allows me to fuel my passions in procedures. As you may know, I'm now in internal medicine, family medicine, primary care, where I was doing emergency medicine. I got a ton of procedures, but now I'm missing that procedural aspect of my job.
You like that.
I'm still doing some like joint injections, and probably the thing I'm doing the most often is washing out people's ears, like the earwax in there.
Which blows my mind how much you love doing that.
So I love that part of medicine and doing procedures. And so the Botox position, I noticed it on LinkedIn. I applied, had some interviews, and I will be doing some training to do Botox. Haven't yet accepted anything yet. I want to think about it a little bit more. Because I would be going to people's houses and doing it, or like Botox parties, essentially.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, and Botox is actually something I've done before. When I was in PA school, I did injections for Botox for people who had migraines.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It was a series of a little over 30 injections to the scalp forehead and back of the neck.
But would this be for cosmetic, not for
This would be just for
migraines?
cosmetic. This is aesthetic medicine. The other thing I'd be doing is telemedicine skincare consults as it pertains to aesthetics. And then, we can work into the fillers and all that stuff. Yeah, that's down the road after you've gotten some Botox training. So.
And I just noticed, because we're always sitting side by side or whatever, doing something, and he's been watching a lot of like plastic surgery videos, and I'm horrified at like some of the bad.
Well, yeah, and you know what? A lot of like the cosmetic and aesthetic medicine industry does get a really bad rap, because I think there's a lot of people out there who really don't care what the patient looks like, essentially. Like, I'm going into this with, I have an eye for the procedural aspect of things, and I really love working with my hands, but I also want like good outcomes for the patient, with the caveat of I'm not going to give someone something that I think is excessive. And I feel like a lot of people can get into that and just give them whatever they want, and I don't think that's right.
Well, I've noticed that's the way you practice medicine. Like, for some reason, he won't give me Ozempic. So, so he's very, like, he doesn't just dish it out like candy.
No.
As I shouldn't say seen, as I learned that a lot of doctors do.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests for like antibiotics, and I'm not going to give you an antibiotic if I don't think it's appropriate. Prednisone or steroids, same thing. And I practice evidence-based medicine. That's I think what people should be practicing, right? So that's my first top. My second top is, of course, you all know. If you don't know, we have a Palm Springs trip coming up in June. We still have one room left.
Just one.
Hello. All the details are in the video description. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. And the Palm Springs group that is already going, we have a group chat going on. And the group chat is lively. It fills my heart. And every time we have a new person who's like booked a room or whatever, we invite them to the chat, and everyone welcomes them. And we have like
the thing I really like about this is, like, when I went on one of those RSVP cruises, what's the gay cruise?
Yeah, I know what
That's
you mean.
one of them, but it wasn't that one. And like, we knew nobody, like, going into it. Granted, there were 5,000 gay men on board, so it was a bigger group. But like what we did for Key West, we put this group together and did a chat, and then we'll do a couple Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And it almost takes away that 2 or 3 day period of who's my group and who's this, and I have to get to know them, and whatever. So it's fun, and like you said, it's a very lively, frisky group. I'm getting more excited because we're down to less than 4 months now.
I know.
And things, I'd say 90% are planned, and then the other things are in the planning stages. Your birthday party, obviously, for one of the big things that we're doing.
Yes.
But it's hard because I have to figure out how to plan it without him kind of knowing about it.
I feel like some of it I'm going to know.
You're going to have to, I think, because I'm just going to use your credit card to pay for it.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
yeah, we have a good mix of
couples. It is, couples and singles. And everyone's just fun. So far, I mean, we got one room. Could be that.
You could be the bad egg.
I could be the one bad apple. Don't spoil the whole bunch.
All right. Speaking of bad apples, what do we have for bottoms?
So last weekend it was nice out. It was nice last Sunday.
Last weekend was fine.
Remember when we were just like, oh, we gotta get? No, we didn't.
We had snow on Tuesday.
But last Sunday I'm talking, and John's like, hey, let's just go throw the ball in the backyard. Just, softball season's coming up.
Yeah.
I got to get my shoulder to actually work again to throw the ball.
He's a pitcher.
So when I went out back, I was like, what is this, like, wood? Like, it looked like wood had, like, broken off, old wood. It was in the back, and I looked, and for some reason in the fascia, which is the flat part of the roof that comes down and you can see underneath it, there's like a gaping hole in it, and the water has been running down because we don't go in the backyard. It's not like, hey, can we go in the backyard and play?
It's too cold to hang out in the backyard.
So for some reason, extensive water damage. Called the contractor that I've worked with before. He came out and he's like, Brian, we're just going to have to basically replace the whole back of the house.
Isn't it fun?
Oh gosh, it's fun owning a house that's 150 years old.
Yeah.
I love it, love it, love it. But you're always doing something
He's
to
so
it.
stressed about this.
Oh gosh, but it's going to be a fortune. So they came out and did their measurements. So now I'm just waiting with hands clenched.
Well, and this is in the context of just having a plumbing issue. Our drywall still isn't put back in from that.
No,
And so there's a lot of projects, little things.
there's a lot of projects.
Yay,
always
old
going on.
houses.
Right. So, but I don't know if I'd live in. I don't want to live in a house that was like cookie cutter made. I don't know. This
Well,
is
our like, I don't know, 10, 20-year plan is to have a gay bed and breakfast, multi-rooms, find one that's kind of needs some TLC and fix it up together.
I would love
that'd be
to.
so
If you
awesome.
have anything for us, has to be near the water.
Yeah, we're beach.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's my bottom. But like you said, at least it's fixable.
Well, I have a bottom, but first, let's take a quick spin to our billing department and talk about today's video sponsor, BetterHelp.
Like an old house, it needs work, and sometimes people need work too. That's why we are proud to have BetterHelp as our sponsor. They are the largest online therapy platform in the world.
They can help you from just about anywhere, from the comfort of your own home, from a tablet, a computer, your cell phone. And you guys, one thing I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of burnout, a lot of caregiver burnout. People who are taking care of friends, parents, loved ones, and that just runs them dry. And you have these blue periods, and I think it's hard to take care of somebody else, to help somebody else, when you yourself aren't optimized. And so I think you need to treat yourself with some BetterHelp. And we have a link down in the video description that'll give you 10% off of your first month with BetterHelp.
It's a great commitment, for yourself, to do something for yourself, because, if you can't be your 100% for yourself, you can't be 100% for other people. And the thing is, yes, you got to carve time out and do this, but that's the best thing about BetterHelp. You're right. It's like, I'll carve out that hour, but I don't have to drive through traffic and get there and reschedule this. You can do it from wherever you have your laptop, your phone, whatever.
Easier than fixing up an old house.
A lot easier.
And with that, let's cut back to our video. My bottom this week is that I lost money on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought I was this, I know everything about sports. I'm this jock bro. I got it. And I made this bet and I lost money. And
I know, but you should have won that bet.
I had a 4-way parlay and I got
Explain what a parlay is.
A parlay means you need to get every one of these things correct to win. And so I did the rushing yards by the quarterback of the Niners. I did the rushing yards for the running back of the Niners. I did, what else did I do? I did the correct winner. And then finally I needed Christian McCaffrey, who is a stud, to score a rushing touchdown.
Which I think it was. I get it.
But they're calling it a passing touchdown because it was like a lateral and all this stuff. And granted, when I placed the bet, I just wanted it to be a touchdown. Not passing, not rushing, none of the things. You guys can tell I'm getting a little heated about this. And I would have won some pretty good money. And unfortunately, because of that, I lost. But it was fun watching the game. I wanted the Niners to win.
I did too.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say I didn't have any skin in the game. I made one bet, and it was just basically picking the exact final score, which, into the fourth quarter, I'm like, they got that. There's no way we can get it.
It was like a $5 bet that would have won $2,500.
Yeah, something ridiculous. So you always do those, just to have fun.
But that was my bottom.
But I did like the ads.
The ads
there
were
were some
good.
fun ads. The Dunkin' Donut ads I thought was very funny with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tom Brady. Oh my gosh, and there's a longer version. You should check that one out. It's online. I watched it. It's 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was very funny.
I haven't seen the long version of
J-Lo.
that. But
oh my God.
I think my favorite one was the Jennifer Aniston Uber Eats.
Oh.
Where she's had to forget something.
You have to forget something.
Yeah. So that was a good one.
It was good. That was good.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. We have an email from one of our subscribers we're going to read and respond to. Let's go. So, real fast question, since you guys are so public about your relationship. We too have a 30-year age gap relationship. Absolutely no issues about it. My 90-year-old mother has actually met my partner who's younger and absolutely loves him. My 5 children are wanting to meet him and get to know him as well. And those who have met him really love him. My question is, it seems that the age gap couples that we meet seem threatened about our relationship. They want us to hook up or they're not sure if we're open. How do you approach these type of issues? So I'm not sure if this is a uniquely gay issue where some couples just assume other couples are open and so that they think that you can sleep with whomever. I guess that there's swingers and there is a community. I'm not heterosexual, so I couldn't tell you. But I think it might be more of a gay, uniquely gay issue. Have you experienced this where people might expect you to sleep with them just because you're into dudes?
Well, yeah. I mean, I say it to you all the time. Men are animals,
We
straight
are
or
pigs.
gay.
Yeah.
So, and I almost think I don't want to say it's an acceptable thing in the gay community, but it's something that's not shunned upon. I almost think it's a stereotype, but it's not that it's a false stereotype.
Right.
Because I do see it a lot.
Because the pool of potential partners is limited because there's a limited amount of people who love the same sex too.
Right.
So there's some of that, but I think generally if you meet a couple, you want to be friends with them. I think inevitably that does come up. Are you guys open?
And then you think of it, it's like, oh, well, you like old guys. Oh, so you're going to like this old guy. Or it's like, you like this young guy. And for me, and I've said it before, I said it on the Tamron Hall show.
You did.
I never really thought of, I had never heard of age gap relationship when I was first started dating you. So it's kind of, I like what I like. If you happen to be 55.
Well, you have a wide range of interest, I think, in men.
Yeah.
I think mine
I'm
is...
not choosy. Obviously. Oh, I didn't mean that.
Dude.
Pretty.
Well, that's kind of getting to our point, and you're not choosy. You're not selective. And so why shouldn't people assume that you're going to want to sleep with them?
Right. I do have a wide range of, guys that I'm interested in, but if I'm interested in one guy, I'm interested in one guy, and that's kind of you. Not to say that I'm like, whoa, yeah, he'd be one to take a nice roll in the hay with, but I don't know.
It comes back to communicating with people.
Right.
Not only your partner and saying, hey, are we open or are we not going to mess around with anybody else, but also in other people. If they want to have fun with you and you don't want to have fun with them, you got to say it.
Right.
I don't know, it just comes down to that. And if they're after it just for a hookup, and you're not, then obviously you go your separate ways. Yep. But if you can just be friends, just be friends.
No, there's nothing wrong with friends. And I mean, I've told you that 100 times that, that in Key West, we actually made adult friends.
Yeah.
That it's hard to make friends as adults. So at first I thought this is what his question was about. Like, how do you keep it friendly? And I'm like, you just kind of have this interest. And I think the age gap is the first thing that's like, oh, we both can relate to that. We can both, know the challenges and victories and, everything else that comes with an age gap relationship.
So do you feel that when we hang out with other age gap couples, is there that sexual tension in the air? Is there an expectation? Is there...
I don't think so. And I think maybe it's because that's what we kind of put out there.
Yeah.
That it's not.
Well, I think that we put out there that we are monogamous.
Right.
And that we don't do that kind of... So maybe that's... But I also think that we purposefully surround ourselves with like-minded guys.
Right.
And that we
I think you do that no matter if you want to sleep with them or not. You still surround yourself with people that you like. And I mean, that's important.
Yeah, I mean, do we joke about like something sexual related? Of course we do.
Of course we do.
We're gay men.
Right. Because it's like, what do they say? You think about it every 5 seconds or something?
Right,
It's
yeah.
like you probably think about it like every 2 seconds.
Sex.
Yes, I know. It's like...
Well, and then also a lot of our other age gap relationship couples, we've seen naked. They've seen us naked.
Yep.
So there's that.
Right, there's that. There's that.
You're not a true friend unless you've seen each other naked.
Right. And it doesn't mean naked as in like sex and
I know. I think there's also
whatever.
another. That's another. We should do a
That
video.
is the thing.
We should do a video about that. About like, you know, there's a lot of nude campgrounds. We talked about naked beaches on Gay Jeopardy. Do you go to those places because you want to get that sexual stimulation, or is it more of a freedom like sort of thing?
For me, it's both.
I mean, I think I love looking around. I like some eye candy, but I also just like to be free.
Yeah.
I like to be naked outside.
I don't get sand in that horrible mesh thing because it's just like wanging around in the water. So, you know, it's very
All right,
it's very
you guys.
freeing.
Well, I think we're done wanging around for this week. I hope you had fun listening to our tops, bottoms, and our little discussion here. Brian has to tell you what our email is so that you guys can send us some
Remember, any comments or questions that you have, that it gives us great fodder to use in these podcasts. And it is outloudjb@gmail.com. That's outloudjb@gmail.com.
Thanks a lot, you guys. We will see you in the next podcast episode. Subscribe for more. And as always, don't forget to live your lives out loud.
Bye.